Today we're going to talk about why you should be fasting and what types of benefits you can expect and how you can get healthier and reverse certain types of disease. And it's coming right up. The most obvious way that fasting can help is to lose weight. It's really quite logical, of course. If you don't eat, then you'll lose weight. There's really no way around it. The body needs to have energy in order to function. If you don't eat, well, you don't just die. You're going to tap into those stores of calories that are in your own body. And your body is going to store calories in two ways. It stores it as sugar and it stores it as body fat. So what we're doing is that we're encouraging the body to use its stores of calories. That's why we have it, so using it is not particularly bad for us. It's actually what it's there for. Body fat is just a store of calories. It's not there for looks, so use it. If you fast, you'll probably lose weight. Number 2, reversing type 2 diabetes. In the disease of type 2 diabetes, our body has too much sugar. When our body has too much sugar and it starts to spill over into the blood, then our blood sugar goes high and we can detect it on the blood test and your doctor will diagnose you with type 2 diabetes. You might think that you need medication at this point, but that's not true. Remember, sugar in the blood and in the body is simply a source of energy. Food energy is calories, so let your body use it up. If you don't eat for 24 hours or 36 hours, well, how's the body going to get the energy in order to function normally? The first place it's going to go is the blood sugar. As your body starts to use up the blood sugar, your blood sugars are going to fall. As it burns off all the sugar in the blood, you no longer have type 2 diabetes. As you start to use up some of the body fat and lose body fat, you'll lose weight, and as you lose weight, very often your type 2 diabetes will also get better. Number 3, reversing fatty liver disease. Fatty liver disease is becoming more and more common. In fact, it's now one of the most common reasons for liver failure in the Western world. To understand fatty liver, you just have to know that your liver can turn excess sugars into fat. And as you take in those excess sugars, the fat builds up in the liver, you get fatty liver disease. It can cause inflammation in the liver and eventually scarring and complete liver failure. It's one of the leading reasons for liver transplantation today. And once again, fasting has a unique role to play in reversing fatty liver disease. If you don't eat, your body is going to need energy. If there's no excess blood glucose, then it's going to start looking for other sources of glucose. Then it's going to start looking for sources of fat. And the first place, the easiest place for your body to get the energy from the fat is from the fat in the liver, because it's right there. That's the organ that turns that fat back into energy. And it's going to use up the fat in the liver before it uses up other fat. And as that fat in the liver is used up, fatty liver disease will go away. Number 4, decreases cholesterol. In the cholesterol panel that you check with your blood test, you can get this blood test called triglycerides, which can go up. And that's actually quite dangerous in terms of causing heart disease. So an increased triglycerides may lead to a low HDL, which is a good cholesterol. And that pattern of high triglycerides and low HDL is considered very, very risky for your heart. Luckily, there's an easy way to lower your triglycerides, and that is fasting. When you have nothing to eat, your body is going to use up some of that energy, and the triglycerides are fat molecules which are sources of energy, and therefore you're going to use up some of those triglycerides, and over time you may see that your blood triglyceride levels start to fall. And as that happens, your HDL, sometimes called the good cholesterol, tends to go up. The fifth reason why you might consider fasting is for increased energy. This might seem strange because people think, hey, if I don't eat, I'm not going to have energy to do anything. In fact, it's the exact opposite. When people are fasting, they usually have more energy. There's a very good reason for this. When you fast, certain hormones change in your body. So things such as insulin start to fall, but other hormones go up, and these are the counter-regulatory hormones. These include the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for our flight or fight response, and also noradrenaline and other stress hormones like growth hormone as well as cortisol. So this increased activation of your body, not a decreased activation, is what causes us to feel this burst of energy when we're fasting. What the body is doing is not shutting down because of a lack of fuel. What it does is that change in hormones allows our body access to stored sources of energy. So our body can look at the sugar and it can look at the body fat as sources of energy. And if there's a lot of body fat, it's going to keep flooding the body with energy. You see this in animals as well. If you think about a lion who's just eaten, well, he's a little tired, wants to sleep. If you just had a big Thanksgiving meal, probably the only thing you really want to do is sit on the couch and watch some football. But the hungry wolf is not lethargic and lacking energy. It's really got a lot of energy and is very dangerous. So when you're hungry, you actually have more energy because you have more access to the energy that's stored on your own body. Number 6 reason to do fasting: increase concentration. Once again, people always think that, hey, if I don't eat, I'm not going to be able to focus. That's actually the exact opposite. When you're hungry, you're better able to focus. And once again, it comes down to those counter-regulatory hormones. Our body is not shutting down, it's ramping itself up. So when you do tests of memory, when you're doing tests of dexterity and things that require concentration, you do much better in a fasted state because of those heightened hormones. Number 7, it rejuvenates the body. Fasting has been called many things. In the past, it might be called a detoxification, or a purification, or a cleansing. But the idea was the same. By not eating, you're going to clean your body and make it healthier. And science has found out this is actually true. Fasting activates a process called autophagy. What this is a cleansing process by the cells of the body. When you have nothing to eat, your body starts to get rid of all those old, non-functional, junky proteins that it doesn't need, and it burns it for energy. And this sounds really bad. Hey, you're burning protein, and this is where the myth comes in that you're burning muscle while you're fasting. But it's not, because this is an intracellular recycling system. As the body gets rid of those old proteins, when you feed again, growth hormone is very high, so your body starts to rebuild those new proteins. So you're taking out the old and bringing in the new, which is the process of rejuvenation. Think about renovation. If you want to renovate your kitchen, you can't leave your old appliances, old countertops, and old cabinets there. The first step in renovating your kitchen is to actually get rid of it all. Take it all down. Get rid of it. Then you can put in your new stove, your new dishwasher, new cabinets, and so on. So fasting with the autophagy and then increased growth hormone to rebuild the proteins that it needs is a process of renovating the body or rejuvenation. Shanna is a registered dietitian. She's practiced in the nutrition field for over 20 years. And during that time, she actually found that it was really hard to help clients as well as herself. And she didn't understand why. After she read my book, The Obesity Code, things started to fall into place. And one of these factors, intermittent fasting, seemed to really click for her. Incorporating this into her regimen, she was able to lose weight, but also get a lot healthier. She listened to podcasts, she read about it, and the more she read, the more she listened, the more she realized that fasting and intermittent fasting was a great way to help not only herself, but all of her clients lose the weight. She's done a great job. Her fasting protocol is 18 to 20 hours on most days and a 24-hour fast once a week. Once in a while, every 2 to 3 months, she'll do a longer fast between 40 to 72 hours, so 2 to 3 days. And that might be every 2 to 3 months she does that. And that's to activate autophagy and the longevity benefits in case you need those longer fasts to be activated. Also gets her body back into shape for fasting and also helps cleanse those additional glucose and fat that she wants to get rid of. Her top tip is to figure out your goals and go from there. Everybody starts from a different place and everybody has a different goal. So for some people it's going to be to lose weight. Others it's going to be type 2 diabetes or fatty liver or increased concentration or all the things we talked about today. Figure out what it is that you want to do and focus on that. If it's the weight, then you may want to measure your body weight or measure your body fat percentage. If it's for type 2 diabetes, what you might want to do is get a continuous blood glucose monitor because that can help keep track of your sugars. In some cases, it's going to be about adjusting the fasting, going shorter, going longer, trying skipping breakfast or skipping dinner, maybe alternating them. And in some cases, it's going to be about changing the foods that you eat, making it easier or making it harder, and then looking at the results that you're getting and adjusting from there. Because there's no one size fits all. We're all different people, and the fasting regimens that we use will all be different. That's it for this week. Thanks everybody for watching. If you learned something, maybe share it with a friend. Maybe you might be able to help them too. And if you could do me a favor and hit that like button down there so that people can find this video, that'd be a real thanks. I'll see you next week.